Good afternoon, everybody. This is right, Premier League season eve. not quite, no. But if I thought life there was like a ring to it, it would be that. So yeah. Long story short, we are literally on the verge of the start of the 2019-20 Premier League season, and I, for one, I cannot wait. Although, of course, I'll have to wait a little bit longer for Arsenal to be in action, because we're not in action until Sunday afternoon. But the purpose of this video is a brand new series of videos that I'm going to be start doing in, well, I suppose like you could say a reintroduction. It's Premier League predictions. When I first started doing live videos on Facebook about 3 years ago, I did start to do Premier League predictions. And it's something that I followed like for the first couple weeks or months of the season. Unfortunately, I never carried on with it. But this time I'm going to try and do like my best to carry on them. Like, because like for the start of the new season, I want to try new things for my channel. Of course, still going to be doing match previews and reviews of Arsenal's games and massive cup games throughout the season. Because I want to, obviously, mainly I'm going to cater to Arsenal and Brighton, but I want to, well, mainly Arsenal, sometimes Brighton, but as well, I want to try to cater to everyone. So that's what I'm going to try and do with these Premier League predictions, because I have many friends who support many clubs throughout the Premier League. And of course, I'm going to try and not upset a lot of people with these predictions, because I don't want them to come after me and spoil the friendship. But of course, like all in jest. So yes, like I say, Premier League predictions. I'm gonna have a rundown of every Premier League game this weekend, and I hope throughout the season I will continue be able to continue this. But I thought it's a good way to start. Now I'd like to get good predictions for this weekend's Premier League games. So let's start right at the top. Tomorrow, the opening game of the 2019-20 season, Liverpool versus Norwich City at Anfield. So yeah, Premier League runners up Liverpool up against the new boys of Norwich City, the Championship champions. So yeah, I have friends supporting both for that. So I'm gonna say good luck, Darren. Yeah, good luck, Darren Bond, not with Liverpool, and good luck, Frank Sales, with Norwich. So predictions. I think this is going to be a really entertaining game, a tough one without a doubt. Norwich will go into this game try not to give it like they're all because they'll need points to stay up. Liverpool haven't lost at Anfield since April 2017, so take that into consideration. Norwich will want to get a famous scalp on their return to the Premier League for the first time in 3 years. Like I say, I can see Norwich really giving Liverpool a good goal. A good going over with this game. But I think they're going to come up a bit short. So I think we're looking at Liverpool 1, Norwich City 0. That's right. That's how fine the margin's going to be. Liverpool 1, Norwich 0. I think that's going to be a fair result. And if that was the case, Norwich can look at that as not disappointing. They don't get 3 points, but only 1 goal conceded. I think that's the thing with these new teams coming up. When they face off against the big boys, if they don't get the points, the key is not to get hammered. Lose their goal difference. So, that'd be interesting. Although, having said that, the last few Norwich Liverpool games have had a lot of goals in, but I think the margin is going to be that fine. Liverpool 1, Norwich 0. So, we move on to Saturday, the first game of the Saturdays, the reigning champions Manchester City versus West Ham United at the London Stadium. Once again, I think it's going to be a tight game. Although, of course, City have enjoyed their recent visits to the London Stadium throughout, coming up with games Sorry, with results of ridiculous quality, 4-0, 5-0. But last year, against the top six, West Ham really did hold their own against the big six at London Stadium, and it's starting to feel like home for them. But much like Liverpool, much like Norwich, I do feel as though that they will have a bit too much love for Man City. It's not going to be a canter. So I'm going to go for West Ham 1, Man City 2. So West Ham released get 1. So there you go. Onto the 3 o'clocks. Bournemouth versus Sheffield United. Now this is going to be an interesting game. Sheffield United's first Premier League game in 12 years. They really want to set a statement. Sheffield United, they'd like to go down a similar path of what Wolves did last year, in terms of arriving back in the Premier League with no fear, and they will have no fear. Will Chris Wilder's Sheffield United. Bournemouth are pretty much established Premier League team now. They've been up here for 4 years now. So that's the irony. That's the last 2 seasons, they've opened up against one of the newly promoted teams. That just goes to show how many leaps and bounds that Bournemouth have come since. You know what, I can see an entertaining game here. Yep, I think that we're gonna have a Desmond here. Bournemouth 2, Sheffield United 2. I think that's going to be pretty much not goals galore in this game. So here's entertaining ones. Burnley versus Southampton. Now this is the second season in a row these two have faced off against each other. With Burnley winning last year. Southampton and Burnley playing out to a 0-0 draw. Due to Burnley's Europa League exploits, I can't see that happening again. Burnley had an indifferent season compared to the season before last, and that's what happens when you exuberate yourself over one season. You expect to carry on to the next. They had Europa League to contend with at least until say Christmas time. It just wasn't working out for them. So not until Christmas time. The early rounds did cost them quite dear. So they want to set up in a better way than they did last season. Of course, Burnley will be anxious to continue their stay in the Premier League. Southampton also want to hit the ground running. Started poorly last season, hiding Ralph Hasenhüttl, kept them up. So now this is a season where Southampton want to deliver. I do feel as though that they'd want to win their home games rather than their away games. Well, of course, they want to win their away games, but they're better off equipped winning at home than they are away. And Turf Moor, such a tough ground for many teams. Luckily, not I say. But I think that Burnley will want to get off on a good start as they did last season. So I'm going to go for Burnley 2, Southampton 1. Crystal Palace versus Everton. I think this is the pick of the 3 o'clocks here. This could be a entertaining game. An impressive one. Palace are strong at home. Everyone knows this. It's another game where I've conflicts of interest. with 2 of my friends. Keith Lapadella is a Everton fan, and Faye Gardner is a season ticket holder for the Eagles. And I'm going to pacify for both by calling it right down the middle, because that's how I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tight 1-1 draw here, mainly because Palace are good at home. Everton are going to break the glass ceiling, I think, this year by trying to get into the top 6, but they don't really fare well at home. So sorry, they don't fare well usually in London. Oh, sorry, before I forget, my good friend Sarah Halpin, an Everton season ticket holder, also have an interest in this game. Hi Sarah. Yeah, I think like we're looking at a draw, like I say, like because Palace are at home, but I think they're going to be a bit too tough, like for Everton. Although Everton, like I say, they don't usually tend to win in London. And of course, like this is the second season like in a row like they've had like a tough start. Wolves like last season, but you know, if they can come back from London with a point, I think that's still important. You know, some look at it as points dropped. I think it's a point gained. Palace at home, like for Everton, you know, not knowing like their poor London like record, I think is a fair shout there. So I'm not gonna go a lot for that one. Watford versus Brighton. Now this is like an interesting one. My second team, Brighton, and my good friend Danny Hyman is a Watford season ticket holder. All these friends like with season like tickets. I need to get a season ticket like for Arsenal. That's what I need to do like at some point. Hopefully like I can. Yeah, like back to the game. Danny's gonna be there, no doubt, chomping at the bit, like to get the game going. Once again, second season in a row like for Brighton, kicking off against Watford. Hopefully we can get like revenge for this time round. It's gonna be an interesting season at Brighton, like a new manager with Graham Potter, but we have brought some new players in. Hopefully Neil Maupay will start. Magnificent coup that getting him like from Brentford. Hopefully like he can share the goal burden with Glenn Murray, like considering like we're sent like a knockout knockout on loan to Fulham. Interesting to see what happened there. I'd be happy like with a draw. A draw like be a good result, but I am hoping, I'm not going to necessarily say it's going to be, but I'm hoping Watford 1, Brighton 2. Sorry Danny, but hey ho, like I say, if I get a draw I'll be happy too. So if we get something out of this, that would be great. The evening game, Tottenham versus Aston Villa at Tottenham's new ground. Now this should be like an interesting one. Much like at Anfield, teams want to go to Tottenham's new ground and get scalps there. Of course, West Ham did get the first scalp there last season. You know, it's an interesting one, like because Aston Villa, since coming back up this season, they have invested heavily. Will they be this season's Fulham? We'll wait and see. I think Aston Villa will like to get a draw here, or something. I would love that to happen. Like I really would. And I'm thinking if there is going to be a shock this weekend, it could possibly be this one. I mean, I'm hoping. Like my good friend Phil Harbridge, like is a Tottenham fan, for not a season ticket holder. So that's one friend, like who's not a season like a ticket holder, like who's supposed to like the clubs. Hey, yeah, like I say, if there's going to be like an upset in any of the games, I think it could be like this one. Obviously, apart a lot from Newcastle and Arsenal, like everyone I think is expecting like an upset for that one. So yeah, my head says Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 1, but my heart says Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2. So I gotta go with my heart, I think. So yep, Tottenham 1, Aston Villa 2. So you never know. Let's see if there's other Saturday games. Yep. So we move on to Sunday. originally a Saturday game, but it's not being arranged for Sunday because of Wolves Europa League exploits. Leicester City versus Wolves. Now this could be a massively interesting game because this is you could sort of say look at it as two of the teams along with Everton who are going to likely break into the top six, or you could say it's the battle of the seventh spot already. Both teams looking like to kick on from what they did last season. I mean, Wolves last season did absolutely brilliant from coming up to the championship. Like I said in previous videos, when Wolves said, "Oh yeah, next season, we're gonna come up, we're gonna make the top 10, top 6," thinking, "Yeah, all right," but they did to finish 7th. Since coming up to the Premier League in any season is incredible. So fair play to them. Leicester, obviously, expectations has been high for them ever since winning the Premier League 3 years ago. Such is the expectation. They're expecting, like you would say, they've had 3 poor seasons compared to what they did 3 years ago. But like I say, it's the expectations of some certain fans and owners that continuously tend to damage these clubs. But I think they've got a bit of stability now, like having Brendan Rodgers in charge, not for his first full season. They have lost Harry Maguire to Manchester United, but also gained Jose Perez from Newcastle, which is massive for them. Now this is an interesting one. Wolves are playing in the Europa League this afternoon against Punjak. Will they be knackered from their exploits? It's good that they've got the early kick-off today because to play tonight and then on the Sunday, especially all the way in Azerbaijan, would be a bit of a test from considering that their squad is already stretched enough as it is. I think maybe without the Europa League jaunt, I would say Wolves would have comfortably won this one. But since that Wolves have Europa League and Leicester, they want to kick on, send a statement to go out there and get something. I'm gonna go for Leicester 2, Wolves 1. Yeah, that's a 2-1 win to Wolves. I know that Newcastle and Arsenal proceed that game, but I'm going to jump ahead and do that one last. So the other Sunday game, Manchester United versus Chelsea. I think this is going to be the game of the weekend, because it's a top 6 team against another top 6 team. Both teams have had I suppose you could say a transitional summer. Last season at Manchester United were atrocious, but they have invested the squad at least at the back with Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Up front, pretty much all the same. At this time of writing or saying they might have sold Lukaku, he might still be there. But even if so, he won't be featuring. And you sort of think against this former club, he might do, but can't see it. With Chelsea, it's a brave new dawn for Frank Lampard, and an uphill task. Really, as far as baptisms of fire for a new Chelsea manager go. Manchester United away was not what you would expect it for him to start off. But of course, if he can, win, lose or draw, Lampard's a legend in the circles of Chelsea. If he would go out there and get a result or something, then obviously, this is how he is right now with Chelsea fans, the hierarchy legends. If he can get a win against Manchester United in his first managerial game with Chelsea, well, there you go. The hands gone out of circulation. That's how high he would go. That's a tough ask. But once again, two friends battling out a lot in this game. Dominic Morgan, like Manchester United fan, and Liam Sayers, like my good friend, a Chelsea fan. Chelsea like at Old Trafford, don't have the best of records like in recent memory, I don't think, but Chelsea need to hit the ground running, like as like I've said, you know, like they've got a transfer ban, like so no new faces like have come in. It is pretty much the same team. Obviously a lot of kids, but of course, well, I'll give the kids a chance. Wow. You know, I'd like to see a Chelsea win. My head would suggest otherwise, but you know what? I'm gonna put it on the line here. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 3. 3-2 Chelsea. I think that's got to be a real barnstormer of a game. Lots of results there. I think. Sorry, lots of goals there. So yeah, right, we move on. Lots of final game of the weekend. Newcastle United versus Arsenal. Now this is like an interesting game. Family bragging rights a lot on the line. If you look back lots of my previous videos like last season on Newcastle versus Arsenal, I documented like that my father-in-law Guy Bunting is a Newcastle fan. Yeah, family not bragging rights, not as intense as my bragging rights like when Arsenal and Chelsea play, a lot of my family, but Newcastle versus Arsenal, you know, bragging rights have got to be had, so there you go. Now this is going to be like an interesting one. Away from home, like last 3 or 4 seasons, we have performed a bit poorly. We did win at St James Park last year, which was great. Like the year before, like we lost. We did find it tough going on some stages, like at St James Park last season, but that was then and this is now. Whether our defence will be sorely tested remains to be seen. And of course, like if reports are true, with the hopefully like incoming transfers of one David Luiz and Kieran Tierney, even though if we get them over the line, Luiz could be playing, Tierney won't because he's a week behind. But it all depends how we set up. But of course, I'll be doing like a preview of that video in the coming days for this. But it's all about the prediction here. I'd like to see us get a clean sheet to start. Like an away clean sheet is very rare. That's gold dust. Like that is only one away clean sheet last season at Watford at home. Sorry, not Watford away. But if we can get more, that'd be brilliant. Remains to be seen. But I'll be happy with a win either way, whatever happens in terms of result. But no, I'm going to put it on the line here. I'm going to be bold. Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for the coming Premier League weekend. I'm hoping not to do this as a weekly feature as much as I can. Obviously, if there are weeks where I miss out on that, I do apologise. As such is the nature of Premier League fixtures coming up as quick as possible, especially as we're in a World Cup / European Championship season. The fixtures are going to be coming thick and fast. But I'll try and get as much content in, squeeze it in as much as I can. Anybody wants to leave any comments, please do so below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And finally, just 24 hours to go, the Premier League is back and I cannot wait. So whoever you support, good luck to your teams throughout the weekend, and let's have lots of entertainment. And on a final note, in terms of entertainment, as Delia Smith herself is back in the Premier League with Norwich, let's be having ya. Good night.